Eric Muather with Muather.com. Let's take a look at the FTSE, which is breaking out here as far as October 4th, 2016 is concerned. And let's see whether we can see how the quality of this might shape up. Remember, not all breakouts tend to be high flyers. Sometimes breakouts fail. And here we are going to see whether we can find why this one could work or why it could fail. Number one, we can see a nice breakout above the recent weekly closing high. So we can see it is moving above that level. This is the second trading day for the month of October 2016. So that's a good quality breakout. And the level there that it needs to stay above is 6916.02, which happens to be this weekly closing high. Also, we can see whether it can maintain above 2015's weekly closing high, which is coming in play right now. So there's another challenge here. If it can stay above that level, the level there is 7089.77, which is 2015's current confirmed all-time weekly closing high. So if it fails to hold above that level, if this breakout here fails, then that's one inkling that this breakout does not have the quality it deserves. So we can watch those two levels. What is pressing right now is whether it can move above the previous weekly closing high from 2015. Failure to do that, then you can start seeing that it is running out of momentum and that subsequently it might have to roll over. There's another challenging spot, and it is whether the stock can maintain the level above 69.1 on its weekly chart. For this to be a high-flying breakout, it needs to hold above 69.1. Right now, it is moving back below 69.1 after spending a couple of hours above it. So it needs the RSI on the weekly to hold above 69.1. Otherwise, it will also fade. Now, if we take a look at the 3-year weekly chart, we see that it is breaking out above 2015's weekly closing high, monthly closing high, and that level there is 6984.43, which is this monthly closing high there. If it can sustain above that level, that's good. Keep in mind, if we take a look at the RSI right now, it is probing, doing its best to hold and move to 3-year highs. You need it to be at 3-year highs if this breakout is to have any quality and have a strong push to the upside. We can see that one of the MACDs is breaking out to 3-year highs, which is our second minimum requirement. So we got RSI moving to 3-year highs and the MACD moving to 3-year highs. That meets the minimum requirement. All the stock needs to do is stay above 2015's monthly closing high. That looks like a good quality breakout. It needs to sustain above the previous weekly closing high, as we just discussed, if it is to see higher prices also. Now there's also another challenging aspect here. If you go to the long-term monthly chart data, you see a couple of things to consider. If you go and take a look at this 2000 or late 99 or early 2000 monthly closing high, and the level there was 6930.20. Again, this closing high the beginning of 2000. And we can see that there was a failed breakout attempt at some point during this monthly attempts to move higher that failed. Once that failure to hold above 2000's monthly closing high, this failure led to this drop. So we can watch how the market responds to this level here at 6930, because if it can stay above that, then it shows that it's finally getting enough momentum to move to the upside. So we also need to watch this number. But I'll show you why I think there could be a little bit of a problem here in terms of potential to move higher. And it's a simple consideration. Take a look at the highs on the long-term monthly RSI. You see that right now the stock is advancing back to test this declining trend line. That creates a problem. So that's one layer of resistance that could stall the current breakout attempt. And also take a look at the previous For example, if you take a look at this break here in 2008, let's draw it somewhere there. That break brought the market lower and went into a major bear market spin. So we had a huge drop in 2008, and so we draw a line from that break point. So this break point here, and you can see that the stock is right now coming back to test this red line. That's not a good sign. And the last time we had a double top rejection on that red line. During this period here, resistance on the red line and resistance here, it gave us the highs for 2015. So if we show another resistance on a monthly basis on this red line, that could be a problem. In fact, if you go backwards here, you'll see that once we broke through the same line right here, this break also corresponded with the FTSE coming off the highs of 2000, and again another major bear market took place. So we can see that the challenge here is that yes, it is breaking out on weekly and monthly charts, but with a lot of potential for resistance if these two lines hold, the red line and the blue. If they hold, then this monthly breakout eventually fails and we see a reversal to the downside. Eric Muather with Muather.com. That's how you see what quality a stock or a market might have when it is trying to break out, and some of the things you need to watch for in case it runs into resistance. Peace and blessings. ESCS. And so it is. Aumba